Well, good afternoon. A very warm welcome to Sandy Park on what is quite a bitterly cold December day here in Devon. I'm delighted to be joined by Exeter Chiefs star Charlie Willett, who's unfortunately injured at the moment. But, well, Charlie, first of all, how are you?
I'm great. I'm now 6 weeks post ACL reconstruction and I'm back in the gym, which I am exceptionally pleased about, and even more pleased to be back at Sandy Park watching the girls run out today in the third round of this year's Allianz Premier 15s.
Indeed, and well, let's just run through the lineups this afternoon. Let's start with the visitors, the Worcester Warriors Women, or the University of Worcester Warriors Women, to give them their official title. Loose head prop is Carmen Tremling, hooker El Febre, tight head prop Flo Long, and in the second row we've got Natalia John and Amelia Buckland Hurry. At number 6, Siobhan McCarthy, number 7, Charlotte Wright Halley, number 8, Taz Bricknell. And in the backs at scrum half, you've got Tori Sellers, fly half Sarah Nicholas, on the left wing and captain this afternoon, Vicky Laughlin, inside centre Abigail Kershaw, outside centre Karis Cox, on the right wing Deborah Wills, and at fullback Kat McNanny. And let's go through the Exeter Chiefs lineup for you this afternoon. Coming in at loose head prop for her first start for the Chiefs is Italian international Silvia Turani. At hooker is Clara Nielsen, tight head prop Lizzie Hanlon, and the second row, Nicola Friday and captain Poppy Leach. And the back row at number 6 is Emily Jeffries. Maisie Allen moves to number 7, and then Linda van der Velden is at number 8. In the backs, it's the usual half-back pairing of Flo Robinson at scrum half and Liv McGovern at fly half. On the left wing, Charlotte Woodman comes in after 2 tries last weekend. Gabby Cantona is in inside centre, and Kate Zachary returns outside centre. And on the right wing, we have Katie Buchanan, and at fullback as ever, Merrin Deutsch. Well, it's a few changes obviously coming back in. A few of the international stars from the World Cup arriving back. They've obviously come back in almost in drips and drabs, but most of them are now back and beginning to start training. How great it is to see, well, especially Kate Zachary making her first appearance of the season. As
always, it's incredible to see our very own Captain America, Kate Zachary. She could play genuinely anywhere on the park. We see her more often in the back row, but I'm very excited to see her tearing it up at 13 today.
Yeah, that is an interesting selection, her coming in at centre. Obviously, she can play both positions, but maybe there's a few injuries. Obviously, we've had Danielle Priest, who's only 18, starting in that outside centre shirt for the first 2 rounds of the Premier 15s, but it'd be interesting to see how that All-American partnership goes.
I think it'll be very interesting. We are, of course, missing Nancy McGillivray at the moment, which is a major loss for us. Hopefully we'll have her back in the lineup soon. But in the meantime, that American pairing, I think, will be very exciting. Kate is such a dynamic player, so I think we can guarantee some line breaks today.
Indeed, and we've got a few players actually making their 49th appearance for the Chiefs, so we're very soon going to have some 50 cappers playing probably next week when they travel up to Northampton to face Loughborough. But let's just focus on the captain, Poppy Leach. I'm sure she'll get a lot of plaudits, especially next week when she does make that 50th appearance, barring any injuries this afternoon. But what a player she has been.
Incredible. Poppy is a true club woman and also leads the charge coaching at the university. She is all over the Chiefs system, and she's a real talisman for the Chiefs, so it's wonderful to see her racking up that amount of caps.
Indeed, and we are literally just a few moments away from the players arriving out onto the pitch. Just a few of the Worcester substitutes still going through their warm-ups out there. It is bitterly cold, it is fair to say. We were just talking before we came on air about how many layers we have on, and there's certainly a healthy crowd still here today. Just over 1,000 for their first round game against Gloucester Hartbury, which unfortunately ended in a result in a defeat, I should say, for the Chiefs. Obviously had that 95-0 thrashing away at Darlington Moden Park last weekend in what was a very one-sided contest. Let's hope it's a lot closer this afternoon. I expect it will, because, well, let's not forget the Allianz Cup game back in September, which I think you were playing in, Charlie.
I was indeed, yes.
Which obviously resulted in a, well, heartbreaking loss. A couple of late tries to the Worcester Warriors, so you know what threats they pose.
I think this is going to be a bit of a grudge match. We were all incredibly disappointed to take the loss at the last minute to Worcester. Sorry. Oh, and they are coming out onto the field right on cue.
Indeed, here come the Worcester Warriors players storming out from the tunnel. Certainly they will be keen to inflict a second defeat of the Chiefs at Sandy Park this season. And here come the Exeter Chiefs, led out by Poppy Leach, onto the field to a massive standing ovation from this home at Sandy Park crowd, who have braved the cold conditions to be here this afternoon in what should hopefully be a fantastic afternoon of rugby. They were in fantastic try-scoring form last weekend. Let's hope for more of the same today. And it will be the Worcester Warriors who kick off from right to left as we look at it from the grandstand in their change strip. And the Chiefs obviously in their traditional black kit. The Worcester Warriors, worth mentioning, they are the same record as the Chiefs in the Allianz Premier 15s this season. 1-1, lost one. They had a fantastic victory in the opening rounds and then lost last week as they kick off through their fly half. Nicholas, and it's well taken.
Incredible take there
it's
from
Maisie Allen. Wow, she has been impressive so far this season. And Nicola Friday trucks it up in the middle of the field, and the players just about get over to ruck over her to retain the ball. McGovern, a nice little pop off there. Set up a good attacking position. Still very much trying to keep the ball in hands. And there's, well, it might have, oh no, it's just dropped there. But they had advantage. I'm just trying to work out what that was for. Was it offside? Yeah, I think it was. So a good start there from the Chiefs. That'll be McGovern who will get the ball in her hands, look to find touch. She is, well, it's fair to say main kicking option, but I think Gabby Cantona really showed what she can do with the boot, especially with her kicks from goal last weekend. She was quite prolific.
Absolutely. Gabby Cantona has now scored 185 points off the tee for Chiefs this season.
That is a good fact. You're more prepared than I am.
Not quite this season. Over her Chiefs career, I should say. This season, over 2 games would be quite the impressive.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, of course, she came off the bench in the first game against Gloucester Hartbury, having, I don't think she'd even trained at that point for the Chiefs. There was a late, obviously, Nancy McGilvray, you mentioned, got injured, and she had to come into the bench and then end up getting about 15 minutes.
That's an unusual line-out loss from Chiefs, who have won an average of 90% of own line-out ball. They'll be extremely disappointed with that.
Well, that's a very good stat again, because they have been brilliant with the line-outs, just so accurate. So it's disappointing to lose their first one. Was that, do you think, just a slightly inaccurate throw, or was that the lift, or just maybe just a bit of cold hands?
I think a little bit of cold hands and maybe some miscommunication there.
Indeed. So Worcester Warriors having their first possession of the game, just inside their own half. Chiefs have got 13 up in the line. That's a good shot tackle coming in. Just trying to see who that was, actually.
Poppy Leach, and I can't see who that was.
I think it was Sylvia Tarani. I think perhaps the player making her. That's a good charge down. And of course, it's Poppy Leach there. She's been everywhere so far. And now McGovern will have a great attacking opportunity here. And she passes out to Cantona. Now, can she find Buchanan left? That's a nice little grubber through. Can Buchanan get onto that? It just bounces away from her and goes into touch. Oh, you just wonder whether it might have been worth keeping the ball in hand there.
I do think that was a 2-pass play, and they might have been in for a try there. But we'll go to the line out and hope that Chiefs can get the steal.
It still was a nice little grubber through from Cantona. She really showing what she can do with the boot. But as it is, Worcester have the line out right on their own 22-metre line. And they're setting up for I think a 5-person line out here. So just shortened it slightly. And that throw goes astray. So Chiefs will hopefully pick that up. And in fact, they do. And it is Poppy Leach. And she passes it out to Clara Nielsen. Clara Nielsen set up Flo Robertson. Out to Cantona, and then Maisie Allen running a hard line. She makes good yards. Now, can they get quick ball? They do. It's out to McGovern. And it's through to Kate Zachary, and makes a half break there. Now, can they retain the ball? The Worcester players over it and very nearly getting the steal. Poppy Leach now trucking it up inside the Worcester 22. Out to McGovern once more. Goes out to back to Cantona, and that's fresh. She's thrown an intercept. Now, can the Worcester player go all the way? She's caught. That's a good offload. No. Oh, what a moment that is, as they were really threatening the Chiefs, and the Warriors now had the ball just inside their own half. Can the Chiefs scramble their defence and get some good line speed? It looks like they got the defensive line more set now, but well, you can see why she was trying that pass, because it was definitely on, but that's a great intercept.
Incredible intercept from the Worcester player there.
Indeed, and Worcester coming hard again. That's a good inside pass, but well met. Linda van der Velden really getting up in the face of the Worcester attackers. Here's the Dutch player. And it's Sellers now from the base, going off to a fly half Nicholas, and that's a stray pass, and Cantona will pick it up here. Now, she can get the offload away, which she does. There's space here, and it's Flo Robinson coming up to take the ball. So Poppy Leach will come in at scrum half. It's a bit of a loose pass. And Tarani just she does well, makes good yardage. Poppy Leach going off the base. They've got the advantage here, the Chiefs. That's a nice pass from Robinson, and Cantona goes to the kick. Now, can Woodman get on the end of this? No, she can't, but I think we'll come back for the penalty inside the Worcester half. And, well, they did well to scramble there after a bit of a nervy moment.
That was definitely some heart-in-mouth stuff to open this game.
Indeed, it's yes, as they were starting to look good as well, and then Cantona it was with the slightly loose pass, but maybe some good out-to-in defence from the visitors. No, you have to say.
You can hear head coach Susie Appleby in the background screaming at the team not to kick it away. So I think Chiefs messages may be going on to keep the ball in hand a little more.
Yeah, it's interesting. I spoke to Susie after the Harlequins game in the Allianz Cup, which was played in some pretty atrocious conditions, and she basically said then she wants them to keep kicking the ball away, which they weren't doing, because obviously they were finding it hard with the handling. Obviously today, apart from it being cold, it's pretty ideal handling conditions and good conditions for running rugby.
As far as winter rugby goes, I think today is as good as it gets in this 5 degree sandy park today.
Indeed, we could do it being a few degrees warmer, I have to admit, but yeah, certainly it's going to keep the crowds entertained here, keeping them away from their Christmas shopping. As Cara Nielsen eyes up her second line out of day, and that's a better throw, and it's the Irish captain Nicola Friday who claims it, and they've set up their trusted driving maul. It's worked so well for them this season. They've got about 10 metres to go. Can they drive it all the way or get to within a couple of metres of the Worcester line? Flo Robinson still urging them forward. Just stalled for a moment, but it's still available at the back. My word, these driving mauls are so effective for them. I have to say the work of Rob Hunter, the Chiefs forwards coach, clearly works well for them. And Flo Robinson now decides to go the top. And it's off to Kate Zachary. Now can she go all the way? She will! And it's that Captain America herself, Kate Zachary, who scores for the Exeter Chiefs in just the 7th minute. And what a start for the home side.
Incredible work from Kate Zachary. We were talking earlier about how we would see something special from her, and 7 minutes in, she has delivered. Of course, all off the back of that exceptional driving maul. Forwards coach Steve Salvin has been working very hard with the forwards on that maul drive, and has set quite aggressive targets for maul tries, with Chiefs expected to score at least 3 maul tries per game this season. So lofty targets there.
Indeed, it's been a real weapon for them. In fact, it's worth mentioning the 95-0 victory last weekend, the Chiefs didn't score until the 15th minute, as they were actually struggling to get their game going. They actually had to rely on their driving maul to get our opening score, and then once that went in, they were able to really turn it on. And McGovern is successful with the conversion. It's interesting to see she's starting with the tee, but why not when you obviously open that well. Good conversion from just left of the post, and the Chiefs lead by 7 points to 0. Worcester will again eye up the kickoff, and Poppy Leach is going to get under that, and she's got a few metres to run into. That's a good tackle there from the Worcester player. And the Worcester prop there, just competing for the ball hard. Nicola Friday again in midfield, so it's the same routine as from the opening kickoff. And they've got numbers here on the left. McGovern takes it to the line. That's a good ball up to Nielsen. She makes it up to Buchanan. Now, can she make a break on the left? She does get through one, and eventually scragged down, but good break, half break there from Katie Buchanan. It's out the back to McGovern once more, who's looking really sharp so far. That's Emily Jeffries, who just takes it up to the halfway line. Flo Robinson out to McGovern. That's taken up there by Cantona. They go back left. And Deutsch, it's an intercept again. Deutsch coming out into first receiver, but throwing a loose pass. And they're really eyeing up these intercepts so far, Worcester Warriors. 8 minutes in and 2 already, but so far not being hugely costly for the Chiefs. But Worcester mounting attack here, but that's a great tackle coming in there. Linda van der Velden was one of them. I didn't see who the second player was. But well met, and Worcester just come again, and they're isolated here a bit, Worcester, and that's a great tackle from Maisie Allen, who's over the top of the ball, causing real issues for Worcester, and Nicola Friday coming in as well. But they just about retain the ball to the Warriors. So that's good work from them, and in fact, their fly-off Nicholas will drop back into the pocket and puts in a loose kick. It actually hits her own player.
What an offload from Liv McGovern.
Space here for women. Now, can she go on the outside? I think she's going to try, but just taken into touch. Clearly has that confidence from last week where she scored a spectacular try in the last play of the game from 60 metres.
Would love to see Charlie Woodman using that pace that she's got. I would say she's one of the fastest girls on the team, but she does really need to use that space so she can use that pace and turn it into tries.
Indeed, and it's quite remarkable to think that her father was a World Cup winner with the England men's team back in 2003 as a prop. Very different type of player, I think it's fair to say.
Yes, I think she may have got her speed genetics elsewhere.
Indeed. And Worcester win the line out. And it's kicked away well by Sellers, the Worcester scrum half, and Deutsch just lets it bounce. So this will be a picky one to take up. Oh, it's a good pass out to Buchanan, who isn't quite able to hold it. She was in acres of space as she did hold it. And she was
well to get up and make that tackle.
Indeed, and she was mightily impressive last week. Marion Deutsch scored a couple of tries herself, really showing her attacking prowess. As Worcester now have the ball inside their own half, they're playing advantage for a knock-on in the tackle. And just some instructions coming from the top from Steve Salvin, the assistant coach, and I found it amazing. Oh, that's a good pass out on the right for Worcester. Just keeping the ball really well now inside the Chiefs half. Real good test of the Chiefs defence early in the game here, leading by 7 points to 0. Early Kate Zachary trying, they win the penalty here. The Exeter Chiefs, their defence really coming out strong at the moment. And the Worcester Warriors, well, they're just not sure which way to turn at the moment. So McGovern will eye up another kick to the corner here.
I think there's no surprises that Chiefs will be going to the line out again.
Indeed, would be another driving maul, do you think?
I would expect so. Be very surprised if it's anything else.
It's one of those I found, they keep doing it whilst it's working, and why not? If it, the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And certainly, as long as they can get the ball to stick in that line out, there is nothing that needs fixing with that drive.
Indeed, no, it's been mightily impressive for them so far. Real attacking weapon, as Steve Salvin described to me after, I think, the Gloucester Hartbury game back in the Allianz Cup when they won away from home back in October. Obviously then got turned over by the same side in the opening round to the Allianz Premier 15s just a couple of weeks ago. And that's a great line out. It's Van der Velden they go to at the back of the line out.
Have to eat our words on that drive.
Indeed. And it's out the back here, and it's Kate Zachary who breaks another tackle, then throws a looping pass. Now, can Woodman pick this up? She does, but she's under pressure. Can she stay? And she does well to beat one and stay in. Really good work by the right winger. As Poppy Leach will just truck it up, and she's met well, but just rides the tackle. They retain the ball. It's out to McGovern once more, and it's Ebony Jeffries coming in at a tight angle. They retain the ball really well. That's a Flo Robinson's just disrupted there by a loose hand. I'm not sure how legal that was, but the referee lets it go. McGovern decides to go for the little kick, and that's cleverly put. I thought it was going to fall into the hands of Buchanan on the left wing, but in fact it was Clara Nielsen hanging out on the left wing, I think, there. It's a role she likes to fill quite often, I think.
Yeah, you'll often find Clara Nielsen on the wing. She's a great support runner for those wingers.
Indeed. So it does go out of play in the end, so Worcester will have the line out just outside their own 22-metre line. And I have to say, most of the play really has been in this part of the field. It's a really good dominant start from the Exeter Chiefs so far this afternoon.
Another fumbled line out there from Worcester.
Yeah, well, we will have our first scrum, it looks like, of the afternoon. It's an area which has been a bit mixed. It was great during the Allianz Cup games. Had a young tight head Lizzie Hanlon performing absolutely brilliantly. Obviously a World Cup player in Sylvia Tarani coming in today. How do you see the scrum going this afternoon, Charlie?
I think it's something that as a team we've worked incredibly hard on, and I think we'll know more after the first scrum of the game as to how much Worcester are going to put into this.
Indeed, we're just waiting for the scrum to pack down. As Flo Robinson has the ball in her hands. That's a good engagement from the Chiefs. And Flo Robinson gets it in. It's just staying quite stable at the moment. They do have a couple of really big front rowers, Worcester, so not going to be easily shoved back. Van der Velden goes from the base. She's met by a couple of defenders. Now just about retain the ball. It's out to Friday, who makes good yards, just bumps off one. And the Chiefs players just trying to get around the corner, and it goes to Kate Zachary and just seems to break a tackle every time, but she's well met this time. So they go back left through Poppy Leach, who just throws the dummy and takes it up herself, makes a couple of metres. Flo Robinson off to Cantona, who's coming in that first receiver role. And that's a good tight line by Van der Velden, now making a half break, but just taken down by her ankles. They're 7 metres out now, the Chiefs. Out to Friday, just gets that big head in, and she will go in as Nicola Friday, I think.
What a handoff from the Irish international.
Unbelievable handoff. She beats one and then goes over in the left-hand corner. What a start this has been for the Chiefs. 14 minutes gone, and they're 12-0 up.
Chiefs will be looking to put right their last loss at home against Gloucester Hartbury. Chiefs have never lost back-to-back at home in the Allianz Premier 15s, and it doesn't look like they'll be changing that record anytime soon.
No, indeed. You have to mention that great home form. A lot of that is to do with this fantastic home support you get at Sandy Park. I mean, it's such a great atmosphere every women's game, and they really do get behind them. They are so keen to see their sides really do well, and with the players that they have, you can't help but thinking this could be another fantastic season for the Exeter Chiefs. And Nicola Friday, who's obviously come in this season, she's been a fantastic addition to the squad. And I think that is McGovern lining up. I wonder whether it be Cantona, but obviously McGovern is 1 from 1 so far, so she will take the second shot at goal wide from the left, but from her right side. Let's see if she can nail this one. Takes a few steps back, and she strikes it pretty well, and it looks to be on target, and it is. What a fantastic kick from the left-hand touchline from Liv McGovern, and it's the Chiefs who are leading the Worcester Warriors with 15 minutes gone by 14 points to 0.
Great kick from Liv McGovern. It's wonderful to see the Kiwi making moves like that in her first season at Chiefs.
Indeed, and she seems to have settled in well, Liv McGovern, although I think she does have a bit of banter about her accent when I was on the coach last week. So obviously they have to run through the team, and obviously she's number 10, and the way she says number 10 does seem to amuse everyone else in the squad.
Bit of a language barrier with being number 10.
Indeed. And so the kickoff from Worcester, just bounces out. It literally only just made the 10 metres. So the Chiefs will have the line out literally on their own 10-metre line. Clara Nielsen will take it, just getting a few instructions from Sylvia Tarani. Just seeing what they've got, a few options in there. Tends to be Friday or Van der Velden. They do go to the back and Van der Velden. It's another perfect line out. They go off the top, and it's Cantona again coming in at first receiver, and this time it is there's a penalty coming here. I was going to say Ebony Jeffries made the bust through the middle, but the referee is coming back for a penalty for the Chiefs for pulling down at the arm. It must admit I missed that one, but
I'm not entirely sure what referee Dan Jones saw there, but it's all good for Chiefs.
Well, yeah, he certainly seemed to indicate pulling at the arm, I think, but maybe a bit unlucky, the Warriors, but the Chiefs will not mind. McGovern will again go for touch, and I think that's Sarah Cox, I think, down on the touchline. Yeah, obviously local woman herself, and quite often actually refereeing at the Women's World Cup over the last few months. Fantastic official. Great to see her running the touchline here, Sandy Park this afternoon. And Clara Nielsen will now have another line out, but this time on the Worcester 10-metre line. That one, just a bit early with the lift, and it goes over the top of Van der Velden, so Worcester will win the ball back here. And a bit of mishandling though from their second row. It's Natalia John who mishandles that, so Worcester will resort to the kick, and that's a good kick, but it's down the middle, and Doige will claim that very easily, and she'll just have a run. She does love the contact, Meryn Doige, it's fair to say. Does not shy away from it. The ball out the back to Cantona here, and just as they work to overlap, Nicola Friday just dropping the ball. But I tell you, it's interesting at the moment with Cantona coming in that first receiver role. It does seem to be working well, having another distributor, another playmaker. I
think having two playmakers on the field is always a good shout. Chiefs does expect all of the backs to be able to distribute that ball.
Indeed, and just seeing who that is who's got caught the wrong side. I think that might be Maisie Allen. In fact, no, sorry, it's Lizzie Hanlon who's just caught the wrong side of the ruck, so Worcester will win the penalty. I think that might be their first of the afternoon.
I think so.
And that's I was going to say a good kick from the fly half, Nicholas, for Worcester, but misses touch, and Flo Robinson will claim that. I think she's just had the ball ripped from her, and so Worcester will win the scrum as it comes a mess on the ground. So
that's a lucky outcome for Worcester after that kick.
Indeed, yeah. Flo Robinson just being a bit muscle, maybe needed to just offload to one of the bigger players around her. So it's a first real chance for the Warriors to show what they've got in attack. They will, certainly it was a stable scrum, the first one in the afternoon, which was Chiefs ball. So
certainly do look evenly matched, and Worcester do have a very experienced front row with Carmen Tremeling. I think she has more than 50 caps for the Warriors. So this is a position she's used to being in.
Indeed, yeah, and I've got to give a special mention as well to, it's a penalty. In fact, before I give you that special mention, the Chiefs win the first scrum penalty of the afternoon. And I think he's, just giving it against the Worcester tight head, long for just boring anything or stepping out. I think he's given it for, so that's a really good outcome for the Chiefs at their first scrum on defence this afternoon. That's a good clearance by McGovern. She in fact, it won't go quite into the Worcester half, just still inside the Chiefs half. As Clara Nielsen will once again have the ball in her hands. You can take the line out. So just missed a couple so far this season, just been a bit, or this game so far, I should say. I think it looks like they're going to go to the middle, and it's again to Van der Velde, and that time perfectly down. Great pass at the back from Robinson, and that's a great run in the middle there, and it's Ebony Jeffries once more. She loves that roll in the middle of the park from a line out. And they're just a bit careless at the base of the ruck now, and just losing the ball. And in fact, the referee has given the penalty against the Chiefs. The hands on the floor, so Worcester getting a string of penalties together.
Certainly feels like a bit of a scrappy game here at Sandy Park just at the moment.
Yeah, indeed. And I guess, can that be expected just with, I know it's obviously dry, but with how cold it is, and obviously still a lot of players reintegrating and not trained a lot, so it's probably not a surprise really, considering all that.
Certainly, I think it's always a challenge with players coming in and out of that system.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, so far after every game, and I've spoken to the coaches, they keep talking about reintegration. Players coming back at different stages as well. It has been a tricky thing to manage, but I have to say they seem to have managed it really well. There's fantastic coaching staff here, and Worcester have the ball in midfield, and tackle coming in from Clara Nielsen, and Nicholas takes it to the line, and just a bit of a loose offload, but it does make its way over to the skipper for the Worcester Warriors, Laughlin. She takes the ball in, and it looks like they're going to set up a caterpillar ruck here, the Worcester Warriors, and it will be their scrum half, Tori Sellers, who kicks away and is unfortunately dropped by Doige.
Uncharacteristic error from Doige at fullback there.
Indeed, usually so safe. But it was a flat kick. Didn't have a lot of height on it, but Worcester will enjoy that. And again, they'll have another attacking opportunity here, just outside the Chiefs' 22-metre line.
It's almost exactly the same place where Chiefs won that penalty just a few moments ago.
Indeed. So they'll be looking for the same results here. Just to give you that interesting fact, actually, the tight. There's so many players, it has to be said, for the Worcester Warriors who actually used to play for Bristol, interestingly. But special mention to the tight head Flo Long, who's actually grew up playing a junior rugby at the same club as me, so up in North Somerset, so I have to give that a mention. But Chiefs looked to have a little bit of a shove on here, but in fact the referee giving the penalty to the Warriors. So doing a bit of a better job this time, the visitors. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here. Looks like they're going to go for the corner, and maybe a chance for them to unleash attacking line out. And it is a pretty good kick from their fly half, Nicholas. And it's just about 10 metres out now from the Chiefs line, so really good chance for the Warriors to get on the board here this afternoon. Those of you just joining us, we're just about 23 minutes gone. The Exeter Chiefs leading the Worcester Warriors by 14 points to 0. As Worcester, they take the line out, and it's a good ball, just a loose pass, but it's still collected in the midfield. The ball's just bouncing around, but it's all gone backwards. So Worcester will still have the ball here, Clara Nielsen. And I think that's Maisie Allen trying to tackle as well. And that was Clara Nielsen over the top, trying to lift the ball, but not able to. So Worcester again will retain the ball, but they've got a lot of players bubbling around the ball at the moment, so they can't go wide, so they go tight for their tight head long. Again, just shift it out one now, but not a lot of options out there, so relatively easy for the Chiefs to defend. But just about 10 metres out are the Warriors. That's a good tight line, well taken though by the Warriors player coming in from deep, but well met by the Chiefs defence. There's another flat ball, and that's I think that's the two. Well, I was going to say it's Ebony Jeffries, one of them putting a tackle in. They've got to roll away here, just trying to hold the Worcester player up. And they've got a bit of better shape here this time, Worcester. But again, good tackle coming in. Really good test of the Chiefs defence, which wasn't really tested last week, it has to be said. So really good opportunity for them to show what they could do over an extended period.
I think we're seeing a lot of those double shots, which is exactly how we're coached in training. It really stops it at source.
Indeed, and there's Now there's a stoppage here as one of the Worcester players looks to be really hurt. There's a lot of noise coming from her, and the physio and doctor are on straight away for Worcester. It looked to be head related, so the referee doing the right thing here, just calling a halt to proceedings. So that just gives us an opportunity to run through the try scorers if you're just joining us. Just about 24.5 minutes gone here at Sandy Park. The Chiefs leading by 14 points to 0. Kate Zachary opened the scoring in the 7th minute after she bust through the middle. Brilliant run from her to beat a couple to go in just to the left of the post. That was converted by McGovern, and then on the 15th minute, Nicola Friday, an absolute brilliant fend on the left-hand side to beat her player and then go in the left-hand corner, and fantastically converted by McGovern on the left-hand side to give the Chiefs a brilliant start. But since then, the Warriors have really come back into it, it has to be said, showing what they can do with ball in hand. And, Chiefs, I guess you can be lulled into a bit of a false sense of security with 95-0 win, as they obviously had last weekend over Darlington Moden Park Sharks. So it's a really good chance for them to show what they can do in all facets of the game.
I think Warriors are certainly a bit of an unpredictable team, having come from all of that financial struggle. I'm sure the players will have found that emotionally exceptionally difficult, but head coach Joe Yapp has certainly kept the side together, and they took a shock win against Harlequins 28-14 in the first round of the Allianz Premier 15s, although a disappointing loss to Sale last weekend, which I'm sure the team and the coach will be wanting to put right this weekend. Yeah,
there's been a few interesting results, that has to be said, from looking through the full results list from the Allianz Premier 15s over the first couple of rounds. Has to be said, like the Chiefs, a lot of the sides are still resting their World Cup players, especially a lot of the England players, giving them time to recover, obviously, from their campaign. But it was a fantastic result for them to go away as well to Harlequins to win that first game. They'll be disappointed to lose at home to Sale, a side who actually were pushed all the way by the DMP Sharks, a side who obviously the Chiefs dispatched easily. So it's really difficult to understand really what sort of form the Warriors are in, and you do wonder whether they are just slightly disrupted by everything that's happened with obviously the financial situation with the club.
You do notice with Warriors a lot of their errors are just coming from loose handling. If I were bringing messages onto the Warriors, I'd be telling them to tighten it up, take some hits up the middle and then go wide. They do have some pace out on the wings, but it's the classic rugby coach thing, isn't it? Through the middle and then patience. Indeed,
absolutely. Earn the right to go wide is what I remember always being told. But it seems over the last few minutes they've really kept hold of the ball, and they seem to have done that. They've not done anything spectacular. They've just had a lot of one or two out runners, but just trying to keep the ball in the Chiefs 22 and almost say, come on, you make the mistake. You know, if you miss a tackle, if you do something stupid, we can get over, rather than saying, let's do something spectacular to score the try.
Absolutely.
And the Worcester player does seem to be okay. She's certainly sitting up. They're just obviously checking over the Chiefs players very sensibly, just putting the ball through their hands, just trying to stay warm. So it's a day you can very easily, you forget, I think, once you start running around playing, you forget then actually how cold it is and then how susceptible you can come to injury at that point. So important for them to stay warm, stay focused. And interestingly, the full Chiefs coaching staff have all just gone down onto the sideline, just sort of see to relay a few messages. They do it over the microphone, but I think just in person, I think sometimes it can be a little bit better and a little bit clearer.
You do get that little bit of additional impact, I think, when the coaches are staring you in the eye as they're passing on their wisdom.
Indeed, I do love the system here. Obviously, they have the microphones to give the messages, but sometimes just this good old-fashioned technique of shouting, and the players do tend to hear them. Did you find out when you were playing that you could hear them?
Personally, I tend to go into a little bubble, so absolutely not, but I'm sure others do.
No, indeed. I remember not being able to hear coaches who were just on the sideline. You just, let alone from the back of the stands. But
I think generally when you watch the footage back, you realise exactly what they were shouting at you for. But
Indeed, yeah. I think especially when you're in the forwards, you're in the thick of it, and you don't really hear anything around you. I think in the backs it can be a little bit different. You kind of notice sometimes a little bit more, especially if you're in the back three.
Certainly a lot more kind of positioning specific things to worry about if you're a back three player.
Indeed. So I'm just looking through the crowd really, because it is a really healthy crowd here. It's stretching for most of this grand west stand here at Sandy Park. I think I've actually seen a couple of the men's players as well who are coming to watch, which is great to see. And they very much hope for a crowd of over 1,000. Obviously, I think it was over 2,000 for that game against Worcester earlier in the season, in that Allianz Cup game. So the local community really getting behind this side, it's fair to say. There's a round of applause coming in for the Worcester player who is unfortunately being taken off on a stretcher. Can't give you details of exactly what's happened, I'm afraid, but clearly not a nice injury she suffered, and really, really disappointing to see.
Seeing a standing ovation from some of the crowd here as she is clapped off the field.
Indeed, just we'll get you the number hopefully at some point. Unfortunately, I didn't see when she went down who it was, and in fact I've just found out is the hooker for the Worcester Warriors, so El Febre, who unfortunately has come off, so she will no doubt be replaced by Lana Skeldon, as you're just hearing from the stadium announcer. Just backing up what we're telling you here. So early change, enforced change for the Warriors, but we're back now with live play with the Warriors with a great attacking opportunity. A scrum about 15 metres out from the Chiefs line, just to the left of the post, so, and they've got all their backs stacked to the right. So great opportunity for them to run a move if they can win this ball. And the Chiefs going for the big shove. What a good shove that is, well, but Worcester retaining the ball. And it's just dropped by Nicholas, so the fly half. So the Chiefs get away with one. Maybe just a bit of cold hands from obviously just having to stop for about 5 minutes. So disappointing for the visitors there, with a great opportunity again, not able to capitalise.
And replacement Lana Skeldon will be straight into back-to-back scrums, which is quite an introduction for the Scottish hooker.
Indeed, yes. It's not ideal, I think, if you're coming on the front row to be just thrown in the scrum. Although she would have had a bit of about 5 minutes to fully warm up and get ready, knowing she was likely to be coming on.
She'll certainly be hoping for a more stable scrum than the one we saw a few moments ago.
Indeed. So it's Flo Robinson looking to put the ball in at the scrum. And just having to have a reset here. And that is, I think, the difference sometimes between the men and women's games. It's so much quicker between resets, between breaks in play. I mean, it's just, the ball goes out, you're straight into the line out, you're straight into the scrum, and there's no mucking around. It's a fantastic, fast-paced game. I know, obviously, we've had a little bit of a break, but it's a really entertaining brand of rugby. You
do tend to see more ball in play time in the women's game, which, if you are wanting to see more rugby, is always a good thing.
Absolutely. And ball coming in here from Flo Robinson. That's a better shove from the Worcester Warriors pack, and they've really got the Chiefs going backwards, and in fact they win the penalty and they celebrate that one, and why not? What
a momentum swing for Worcester there.
Indeed, they'll be really proud of that. And it looked to be their loose header really got the better of Lizzie Hanlon, I think.
Is that a Worcester player down over there just next to the referee?
Yeah, I think it is. It might be Trembling, the loose head, who had a really good scrum there.
Let's hope that Worcester aren't losing another front row early on in the game, just receiving a little bit of attention from the physio there.
Indeed, and just having a look. In fact, it's Worcester Warriors are going for the posts, so they're eyeing up, just getting on the board here. Probably not, say, too unsensible decision here for the visitors. They've kind of huffed and puffed in this area of the field for quite some time now, and think, let's just get some points on the board. They know they're capable of late comebacks because, well, they did that to the Chiefs. Obviously, I know I keep mentioning it, Charlie. It's probably still better in your mind.
Having played
September.
In that game, that is
it's
my last game for Chiefs this season, so not quite the one I would have wanted to go out on.
No, absolutely. But can Nicholas add over the 3 points for the Warriors? And she strikes it pretty well, and that is straight through the middle. So with 33 minutes gone here, Worcester are finally on the board. It's Exeter Chiefs 14, Worcester Warriors 3. And we now very much have a game on this afternoon. So Chiefs players look to line up for the penalty. Crowd just got a little bit silent because Worcester very much had the better of the play for the last 10 minutes or so. And McGovern, that's a good kick now. Can Woodman, that's dropped by the tight head for Worcester Warriors long, and referee giving that. So probably a good place to place it. Surprised to see a tight head trying to claim the restart. It's pretty unusual that.
And under some immense line speed pressure from Chiefs also.
Yeah, Woodman, you can almost see, just trying to get her timing right to make sure she timed the tackle right. And I think she could see Woodman in her eye line long, and maybe just distracted her. Some instructions comes in from Susie Appleby, the Chiefs head coach. I think those instructions are coming to her back line. I think just making sure everything is secured. From it if they lose the ball, and that's a better scrum from the Chiefs. This time Flo Robinson putting in, but counter shove coming in from the Warriors. A loose pass comes in as McGovern picks it up, and Flo Robinson doing a good blocking job. And Woman just half breaking the tackle there. So just getting through one and setting up a good position here, and that's taken in by Friday, the Irish captain. And Robinson at the back to Cantona, just a bit of a loose pass.
Not entirely sure Cantona was expecting that ball there, but just made a good challenge.
Oh, it's another loose one coming in, but it's knocked on by Worcester as they try and pick it up. Maisie Allen, no, shoved back. Now, can they do something with this advantage?
They have numbers on this right-hand side.
What can Woodman do? Is she goes to the tight ball to Clara Nielsen, who does well, really drives through the tackle. Still got the advantage. I'm guessing that is still for the knock on. That's a good drive by Poppy Leach.
Here, head coach Susie Appleby in the background screaming ball in hand, which looks to be exactly what Chiefs will do.
Kate Zachary can go here, and she gets the offload away to Deutsch. Makes another couple of metres. She's brought down by the Worcester fullback. They're about 7 metres out here. Got a good attacking opportunity again. They just retain the ball once more. Oh, just delayed. That's a good counter-rocking coming from Worcester. So Cantona's line is just checked, but she does well. Cantona, really strong ball carrier. Flo Robinson just looking to pick it up from the base, out to Kate Zachary. Great ball out to McGovern, and McGovern will go all the way through. What a try that was! What a ball from Kate Zachary!
And all set up, as you said, by Kate Zachary. She's already having an incredible first half back here at Sandy Park.
Oh, she is indeed, and obviously used to running those tight lines, but this time with the deft set of hands out to McGovern running out the back. And well, McGovern just had a gaping hole to run through. But that was fantastic, and again showing what having not one, but two, not three, but three ball players in the back line can do.
Absolutely, Worcester will be disappointed with the gaps in their defence there.
Indeed, and I have to say I was obviously here for the first game of the season, or the Allianz Premier 15 season I should say, against Gloucester Hartpury, and I felt that was something they were lacking at times because they had plenty of opportunities in the Gloucester Hartpury 22 but weren't always able to execute. But I think just having those extra playmakers is really paying dividends so far this afternoon as McGovern lines up the conversion, this time from the right hand side of the post. She's been faultless from the tee so far. Can she make it 3 from 3? She just eyes up pressure from the Worcester players, and she is absolutely pinpoint accurate. So Exeter Chiefs now leading the Worcester Warriors with 37 minutes gone by 21 points to 3.
And you'll just see Kate Zachary has moved into where that kickoff has repeatedly been going from Worcester. Chiefs looking to get her on the ball as soon as possible.
Indeed, that is a great decision really, and they do go short Worcester, and they pick it up really well. And Poppy Leach now.
Some miscommunication off the kickoffs there from Chiefs, I think.
Indeed, it's always an area which they always try and get right, and I think they learned really by bringing Kate Zachary up, who's obviously great under the high ball, and Deutsch just losing the ball, but the referee saying it was ripped from her, so Chiefs able to continue here, and that's Clara Nielsen going through the middle. Again, another great carry from Nielsen. She's been really good so far this afternoon. Oh, Poppy Leach out the back, but Liv McGovern dropping the ball, and then that's picked up from an offside position by Poppy Leach, so Worcester will have the penalty. Disappointing there from Exeter as they're again looking like they were starting to build. And here's the Worcester fly half Nicholas, who will pick the ball up and will look to put it into the corner. She makes a good touch and she puts the ball into the Chiefs 22. In fact, it's right on the 22-metre line. So just as they get some dominance, just making another mistake, the Chiefs, and just inviting some pressure, which the coaching staff, I can tell you, are not pleased about. But it's just simply handling errors, really. Nothing. It's a coach killer.
No rocket science there. It's just keep the ball in hand, I think.
Indeed. But their handling has been pretty good so far. Just a couple of errors, but errors from the Worcester so far. But again, there's some good hands from them, and they find it. The ball finds it out to their left winger, Vicky Laughlin, their captain this afternoon. But ball does hit the ground, but the referee saying it went backwards, and that's a great drive through the middle from Worcester. And in fact, they got the advantage here for no clear release, which I think is a bit harsh. I'm just trying to see what that is. I think it's Kate Zachary. Another
Liv
good.
McGovern at the bottom of that one, I think.
Indeed. So, and they go through the middle once more. So, really good attacking opportunity for the Warriors. That's a great clear out as well. It's off to their substitute hooker and out to the left to Vicky Laughlin, who goes in the left-hand corner. What a good try from the Warriors, and they're back in this.
And Vicky Laughlin makes that 4 tries in her last 3 games now. She's a force to be reckoned with in this year's Allianz Premier 15.
She is indeed really good finisher, it has to be said. She is the co-captain for the club for the Worcester Warriors, so captaining the side this afternoon, former England 20s player. But a really great finish, and they'll be disappointed with that, will the Chiefs? Looked like they had some real dominance on this game, but just when they thought that was the case, Warriors just struck back straight away. First mistake from McGovern, dropping the ball, and then just a missed tackle on the left-hand side, and Vicky Laughlin able to squeeze away over in the left-hand corner to make the score 21 points to 8 to the Chiefs. And it's a tough conversion attempt here from Nicholas on the left-hand side. Can she add the extras here for Worcester? And the Chiefs players have gone deep over their dead ball area to have a chat, just to reassess, just make sure they stay focused, and that kick will go wide from Nicholas. So Chiefs able to maintain their 21 points to 8 lead here at Sandy Park.
Coming towards the end of this half, that will give Worcester a big confidence boost as they go into the half-time. I think we must be nearing half-time now, actually.
Indeed, well, it'll be interesting to see how many minutes they add on. It's a running clock here, they don't stop it for the women's games, and obviously we had a long injury break for the Warriors hooker February, so we might still have another 4 minutes or so, and that's well taken by Long this time. And she rips through the tackle there, so really good effort from the Warriors tight heads.
Maisie Allen tried to go in for the rip there, but just ended up being bumped.
Maybe not the best idea against such a big player. She is a good ball carrier. Balls rips out the scrum half hand for Warriors, but the referee just giving a scrum saying it was knocked on in the tackle. So Worcester will have the put in here inside their own half, and we'll have another scrum and see what the Chiefs can do. It's struggled a bit on the last few, it's fair to say, so they want to try and reassert their dominance in this aspect of the game. Weren't really tested last week against the DMP Sharks. It was a case really get it in, get it out, because they were able to show their attacking prowess, but it's going to be a bit tougher in the tight exchanges this afternoon. As the Warriors scrum half Sellers looks to put it in. And they do get a shove on Worcester, but they go off the base through their number 8, Kaz Bricknell. And they go through the middle and just looking a little bit more confident with ball in hand now, Worcester. That's a good tackle now coming in, but again they ride the tackle well. They're just built into this game a bit more. You feel the Warriors, always the Exeter players just caught a little bit going a bit early, but they go back. That's well taken. I think that's Maisie Allen who claims the ball. So and Deutsch goes in at scrum half. It's a bit of a loose pass, but taken up well. That's a great charge there through the middle. And Flo Robinson goes off to McGovern, and she goes for the kick. She's going for the 50-22, I think, because she's inside her own half, and that's a great kick, just pinning Worcester back. Laughlin just able to keep it in, and that's a great tackle coming in, though, and just really pinning the Worcester team inside their own 22. Kick comes in from the scrum half. Sellers Deutsch claims it this time. It's out to McGovern, who can have a bit of a run here, and there's players on the left. She goes for the kick, and that's Buchanan trying to chase after it, but that'll be claimed easily by Nicholas, the Worcester fly half. She floats it out onto the left-hand side to the Worcester right winger, I should say, and they're called for holding on though, so the Chiefs will have the penalty deep inside the Worcester half, and I think they will look to pump it into the corner instead of that driving maul again.
And I think we'll get another opportunity to see that incredible driving maul shortly.
Indeed, a great opportunity for Chiefs to extend their lead just before half-time. And that's is that McGovern eyeing up the kick? It is indeed. That is a good kick as well. So she will take the Chiefs to within about 7 metres of the Worcester line. And the forwards just huddling to work out where they're going to put it in the line-out. And it has tended to be 2 options so far they've gone to. It's either Friday or Van der Velden. I know Poppy Leach is an option as well, but it seems to work well for them.
I think the thing with lineouts is keep it simple, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Indeed. We keep saying that, and in fact they do go to Van der Velden, I think, and of course they do set up that driving maul.
Worcester doing better this time with that driving maul defence though, at least at first.
And so they managed to get through a few of the Worcester defenders who break out from the side, and it's Nielsen with the ball in her hand. She's been a prolific try scorer for the Chiefs this season. Can she add another one? And they've got the advantage here. It's still very much set for them. Can they go over? It looks like they are. Indeed they are! And well, we can't see who scored, but I would imagine that would be Clara Nielsen who'll come up with the ball in her hands. What an effort from the Chiefs forward pack from about 7-8 metres out to go over. Again, that driving maul has just proved so effective for them. We're just waiting for confirmation of the try scorer, but I will be shocked if it wasn't Clara Nielsen. She has such control at the back of that maul.
Hopefully she's been reaping the rewards of those line-out throws.
Indeed. Is it an area you practice a lot in training?
Yes, line-outs are something we do practice week in, week out, often several sessions a week. So certainly well drilled.
Indeed. And it will be McGovern will line up the conversion. I would imagine this will be the final act of this first half here at Sandy Park. In fact, a few of the fans just going off to get their half-time refreshments to warm up, I think, on a bitterly cold afternoon. I'll certainly be putting my my gloves on for the second half.
Yeah, you can see the lights now just sort of fading at Sandy Park.
Indeed, McGovern eyes at the conversion, and she is unsuccessful. No, her first miss of the afternoon. So that leaves the score at half-time. Exeter Chiefs 26, Worcester Warriors 8. Let's just run through those scorers for you. Kate Zachary, Captain America herself, getting the ball rolling for the Chiefs in the 7th minute as she broke through a few tackles. Nicola Friday got the second half of the afternoon in the 15th minute. And then the 34th minute, the Warriors got on the board for a penalty from their fly half, Nicholas. And then the 36th minute, McGovern got the third try of the afternoon for the Chiefs for a brilliant set of hands from Kate Zachary. Warriors got their first try of the afternoon, the 40th minute. Vicky Laughlin able to squeeze over on the left-hand side, their skipper. And then just before half-time, in the 45th minute, Clara Nielsen getting over from a trademark Chiefs driving maul to leave the Chiefs leading at half-time over the Worcester Warriors by 26 points to 8.
So don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, with Christmas just around the corner, we've got the perfect gift.
Welcome back everyone to Sandy Park as the Worcester Warriors players have just arrived back onto the field for the second half, just waiting for the Exeter Chiefs to make their re-emergence onto the pitch. Led out by Poppy Leach as usual. So they sprint out, and obviously that try before half-time really giving them a spring in their step. Those of you just joining us, the Chiefs leading the Worcester Warriors by 26 points to 8. And they have made a really good start to this game, it has to be said. But they'll be certainly not wanting to rest on their laurels after what happened in the Allianz Cup back in September, where they threw away a half-time lead. So certainly I'm sure that was the message at half-time. You'll probably have a bit more insight, Charlie, on what was said at half-time. What were the messages, do you reckon, would have been?
Well, I think it'll be, firstly we have to say, what a take from Maisie Allen.
Unbelievable. She has been so impressive, unfortunately, just giving away the penalty for holding on, but a great take from the kickoff.
That's going to be a real confidence boost for Chiefs, despite the penalty, putting that kind of pressure on the first kick post half-time. Great work.
Indeed. Yeah, it will certainly play on the Warriors' mind, you reckon, obviously from kickoffs, knowing that Maisie poses that threat.
Yeah, I think
Maisie
Maisie Allen, having been involved in the England Sevens programme over the summer, is really showing her speed. And the kick hasn't quite gone.
Indeed, and Van der Velden will truck it up here, and she goes for a couple, makes good yardage. Flo Robinson just goes out to McGovern, out deep to Cantona, out to Zachary. Now what can she do? She gets that big right friend on, but well tracked across by the Worcester right winger. That's Wills. Made a good tackle on the US player. And Poppy Leach driven back there. They come out with a new lease of life, have Worcester Warriors in terms of defence. Out to Buchanan on the left. She breaks one tackle. Great run from Buchanan. Then goes through another. She's still on her feet. Brilliant run from her.
15 tackles in her last 3 games. So certainly adding to that count.
Indeed, and that's a good run there coming in by, is that Maisie Allen again, I think it was. In fact, no, sorry, it's Lizzie Hanlon. And Maisie Allen that time setting the ball up in midfield. It's a really good attacking play from the Chiefs. Short ball going off to Ebony Jeffries, who just holds the ball up. Described last week by, I think, Clara Nielsen as their version of Dave Ewers, which is an interesting comparison.
An accurate comparison. I'm sure anyone that saw Ebony's try in the Gloucester game, where she pretty much rolled over 2 or 3 people to get to that try line, will know that.
And so Katie Buchanan just going through one tackle and then brought down high on the second one.
Does well to stay in there.
Yeah, indeed. So advantage they've got here, the Chiefs, and they go back from the blind. They've got numbers. And it's out to Clara Nielsen. Now she goes inside to Deutsch. Deutsch sets the ball up. Great bit of interplay from the Chiefs players.
With a nice little basketball pass there from Clara Nielsen. She'll be pleased to watch that one back, I'm sure.
Indeed. And Leach just holds the ball up before going out to Van der Velden. And they're setting up nicely again as Kate Zachary takes on 2 defenders there. And a advantage here for a player on the wrong side. Flo Robinson out to McGovern. And McGovern goes for the kick. A bit of a strange option. That'll be easily taken by the Worcester captain Laughlin, but they have got the advantage. So the Chiefs will come back here. But they were building well there, Chiefs. It's an unusual decision to go for the boot.
Certainly a much stronger start to the second half than we had in the first half, though, straight out of the gates.
Absolutely, and McGovern will again kick for the corner, this time trying to find touch to set up that driving maul, you would imagine.
And absolutely no surprises there.
Indeed, Clara Nielsen with the ball in her hands. And it's just gone to the wrong place for the line out. The toucher's just trying to take her back to where she should be.
Optimistic there from Clara, maybe a little bit of gamesmanship in there.
Quite possibly. And about 7 metres out here, the Chiefs line out. Now can they set up yet another driving maul? It goes to Poppy Leach. Worcester do not compete. They just go for the maul defence.
They've gone for the sack
there's
there,
a few players on the ground, I think. Yeah, they have gone for the sack. They got the advantage, Chiefs. They just roll it out. I think it's Sylvia. Oh no, it's Nielsen has the ball, and she goes for the quick tap. I think. Oh no, I thought she was going to go for it because there seemed to be only a couple of players in front of her. I thought she fancied it, but no. Maybe sensibly just deciding go back to that tried and trusted line out.
Clara Nielsen will be more than happy to give that line out throw again and hopefully get on the end of another try.
Oh, absolutely. She'll be eyeing up a second in the afternoon. She got 2 last week. She is a prolific try scorer for the Chiefs, hanging out on those wide channels and then also from the tight exchanges and the maul. This time going to Nicola Friday, and this looks to be well set to me. Worcester desperately trying to pile players behind. They've just put a bit of a counter shove on, just shoved the Chiefs towards the touchline. So the Chiefs just trying to move it a bit in field, and Worcester player looked like she changed his drive there, but causing disruption. The referee saying she's through the middle. So, and in fact, yeah, they've done really well there, Worcester. They've held the ball up and they will win the scrum. And it's a bit of argy-bargy going on in there as well. Worcester just letting the Chiefs players know how pleased they are to celebrate not conceding from that driving maul. And so the Warriors will have a defensive scrum just 5 metres out from their own line. And, the Chiefs were looking to put pressure on, though, but I'd be disappointed they weren't able to get over there. I think it was just, they were just crabbed a bit over to the touchline, and then as they tried to break open, one of the Warriors players saw their opportunity to just go through the middle. My view, maybe just changing their mind a little bit, but maybe I'm a little bit biased.
If the ref didn't see it, it didn't happen.
Indeed. Referee certainly will know better than I do about those what goes on those tight exchanges.
No comment.
Just waiting for the scrum to pack down here. Those you just joining us, just about 5.5 minutes gone in the second half. Chiefs encamped in the Worcester 22 for the start of the second half. They're leading the Warriors by 26 points to 8. So it was a good first half for them. They scored the bonus point try as well just for half time. It's worth mentioning. So they're already eyeing up all 5 points here this afternoon. That's a really good shove from the Chiefs, and the Warriors scrum half is just has to dive on it in the end. So effectively it's a turnover at the scrum. The Chiefs this time will have the butt in 5 metres out, and they'll think, well, we can't do it from the line out. Let's see if we can do it from the scrum.
What a dominant scrum from Chiefs, and they'll be very pleased to go straight back in for another. Absolutely.
And well, interestingly, it wasn't an area of the game that they, I would say, got dominance on in the first half in the scrum. Was something said at half time really to change what's going on, change the picture?
You just wonder if forwards coach Steve Salvin has had a word, or indeed whether Worcester is simply tiring out at this stage.
Indeed, it could be a mixture of the two, but Flo Robinson now with the ball in her hands. She will look to put it in. And again, they will go for the 8-person shove, you would imagine. And in fact, they do. Van der Velden very much got ahead in, but she goes from the top, but well marked by the open side for Worcester. Maybe would have been better just keeping it at her feet. Maybe a bit naive from the Dutch player there. And Nicola Friday that time. And that's a good turnover from Worcester. They just got over the ball and forced a holding on penalty. So again, not able to capitalise on the fact they were camped on the Worcester line there. They'll be disappointed with that. And I don't know, maybe I'm being a bit harsh on Linda van der Velden there from going on the base. Would she have been better keeping it at her feet?
I think with such scrum dominance, keep it at the feet, set it up for the next carry. I think safe to say that Susie Appleby and Steve Salvin will be very disappointed with the lack of conversion from that 22 dot.
Absolutely. And it's a stat they look at a lot. I mean, I was with the analyst over 7 hours on the way back from Darlington last weekend. He was talking me through it, how they look at possession, all the key stats obviously, but pressure and points from every visit to the 22, that is a stat they look at very closely, but not able to capitalise that time, unfortunately. So Worcester, from the resultant penalty, have the line out, and they just about win the ball from even despite the pressure from Nicola Friday. They've committed a lot of players there, so they'll go back to Nicholas to clear away. And she won't be able to find touch because it's taken back in. And it's Brooke Bradley who catches the ball. And she'll look to have a run herself and just taking on the Worcester defenders.
Chiefs have made a few changes at that break in play. Can just see Rachel Johnson here on the blind side. I'm interested to see what she does. She's a very dominant carrier.
Indeed. The American international Johnson's on. And Clee Maloney as well come on at hooker in place of Clara Nielsen. Just trying to see if there's any other changes. Well, oh, yes. I think at prop, is that Charlie Jacobi, yes, yeah, she's come on. Oh, they're just missing touch from the penalty there, Chiefs. So disappointing from McGovern. So again, it's take two with Flo Robinson taking the ball, and they go out to Deutsch and tries to make a break and just gets that left fend out, but just making half a break, not quite able to break free. And it's out to McGovern, who puts a little grubber through, looking for Woodman to claim that, and just taken out without the ball, it looked like, but referee just giving the line out for Worcester. Just hesitating, maybe a nice little grubber through from McGovern. She does like that play.
Yeah, we have seen a few of those, yet to see one of them come off this game, but hopefully that can change. Indeed,
and Worcester pegged back in the 22 again. No, it'll be their substitute hooker Skeldon who will take the throw in. And it didn't look straight to me, but nothing doing from the referee. So Worcester will set up her driving ball of their own. And their scrum half here looking to clear away the ball. And, well, it's an interesting kick, and it will be actually Maisie Allen who'll trap back and get that. Just knocks it backwards, and she'll have a little run here. She builds up a head of steam and makes good yardage. God, she does like getting up ahead of steam when she gets going. She's so hard to put down. Poppy Leach pops it off to Nicola Friday and makes good yardage. Now, can they get a quick ball here? They go out to the left. It's out to McGovern. Out the back. Here, and it's a good ball out to Buchanan. Just has to check back to take it, but again beats the defender. She's so good at beating that first defender. Unbelievably good at that. It's the pass from... And the referee saying she has to release it now with the tackle formed. And, interesting ball.
Lack of support there.
Yeah, really, she does well in the end. Does Cantona to keep the ball because she was isolated. And, a big tackle coming in there. But hard line coming in here from Ebony Jeffries. It was Tarani who, I think, took that ball up and was well met. And Deutsch getting in the front line again, taking the ball at first phase. Or at first receiver, I should say. Flo Robinson will pass no one, but picked up on the bounce by Cantona, and it's claimed on the ground, though, as the loose pass comes in. But the Chiefs still have it just about a bit loose there in their play.
Not entirely sure how we managed to come up with that ball, but no complaints.
Poppy Leach just trying to settle things as she trucks the ball up. Just need to settle it at the moment. Just obviously been camped in this area, but the Worcester defence really staying strong. And that's a great offload to Tarani. And Robinson having to go in. That's popped off by Rachel Johnson. Off there to Cantona by Poppy Leach. They're 5 metres out now.
A lot of space over there on the right-hand side. Exeter do have numbers if they can get the ball out there.
Indeed, and McGovern looks to take up on her own. Now, can she go all the way? She's not. She's a metre short. They have players, and it's an easy dive over now for Flo Robinson. I thought McGovern had spurned the overlap on the right, but she did well. Just a right a few tackles, got to within a metre, and then Flo Robinson spotted a gap on the fringes, and the Chiefs are in for their 5th.
I really thought Liv was going to go over there, but great presence of mind from Flo Robinson to dive over and get Chiefs those points.
Indeed. And the tomahawk chop just going off around us here as McGovern eyes up the conversion. That's a 52nd minute try there for the Chiefs. And great awareness, it has to be said from Flo Robinson. She just spots her gap so well. As she did last week as well, it's fair to say she was brilliant around the fringes. Obviously, not quite as strong a defence last week up in Darlington, but just showing her prowess once more as we're going out over the extras.
I know Flo Robinson is definitely a talent of the future. She's already got caps for England under-20s, and I've no doubt we'll be seeing her in the senior England side at some point over the next few years.
Indeed, and maybe talking a little bit about some of the young talented players coming through at the Chiefs and how we might see some of them in the England ranks going forward.
I think Chiefs have really capitalised on their partnership with Exeter University, meaning the girls can come in and out of that training environment.
Absolutely, they have some great academy set up, obviously taking advantage of university and the elite setup there. Poppy Leach, obviously the captain coaching there. Obviously Exeter College as well, players coming through from that angle as well. So
really is that base of talent that they're able to build.
Absolutely, and obviously joined up with some few junior Devon clubs as well, which I think, Charlie, you've had to spend some time in as well, haven't you, over at Clumps, am I right?
Yes, indeed, with the loan setup.
Absolutely. It's just a bit of a loose pass coming over to the Chiefs, and I think Worcester will, no, they won't win the turnover. I thought the referee
about that.
was going to give the holding on penalty there, as they were starting to look dangerous again once more, the Chiefs. But they just build once more. Pop off from Leach, and Tarani can make a little run here, just in a bit of space. Now, can she present the ball? Or she can just about. I thought maybe a bit unlucky against Worcester but Chiefs getting the penalty. That's a great line from McGovern. Great offload there to Buchanan on the left-hand side after a great offload previously from Leach. Great hands here from the Chiefs. Just as I say that, bit of a poor pass coming from Flo Robinson, whose passing has been pretty good this afternoon, it has to be said. But Doy's doing well to clear up the mess, just trucks it back up. Emily Jeffries just going through the middle. She seems to know one way as Jeffries, but she's well met there by the Worcester defence. So the ball just slowed down a bit. Out the back to McGovern, then Gabby Cantona. And it's out to Zachary. Now can she get that left end? She does. Out to Woodman. Now can she work a little bit of space? She just breaks through a few. Flo Robinson going off the base. She just about keeps the ball from a thumping tackle coming in. Friday. She pops the ball off. Great offload there. Back to Friday. Brilliant interchange and handling from the Chiefs. They've got the advantage again. Flo Robinson just trying to free up the ball. Out to Cantona at first receiver. Out to McGovern at second receiver. Inside to Woman, who's trying to get hands on the ball. They go left once more. And it's a great ball from McGovern. And it's out on the left to Buchanan, who just breaks the tackle once more. And the Worcester right wing is having a really difficult afternoon marking her. That's Tarani once more. Flo Robinson off to Ebony Jeffries. And what a trail that is for the Chiefs. What a great face play. I've got to say, I think that's team try of the season so far.
Absolutely brilliant work across the park, and you'll never stop Ebony Jeffries that close to the line.
And once again, it was Flo Robinson spotting a gap. I think she could have gone herself, Flo Robinson, but instead decided to bob it off to Ebony Jeffries. She's
had one not 2 minutes ago, so she'll pass it to a teammate.
Indeed, very unselfish. Bobbing off to Jeffries, who was running the short line. She took the pass brilliantly. And that's the 6th of the afternoon for the Chiefs. And they are starting to run right here at Sandy Park. And you feel their season is really getting going for the Exeter Chiefs. And they just look all to be on the same wavelength in their attacking play in that back line. Whether it's McGovern at first receiver, Cantona, they all seem to know what the other player is doing. And it just shows that all that hard work and training is really paying off.
Absolutely. I feel like Chiefs have really grown into the game in this second half.
Absolutely. You feel they've worn down this Worcester side as McGovern eyes up yet another conversion. She's been pretty faultless with the boot. Only one miss so far, I believe. I've just put the curse on her there, have I?
Curse, James.
Indeed, just slice it out to her right. And that's an interesting move. Cantona has done her work for the afternoon. She's been mightily impressive. So Welsh international Robin Wilkins comes on in her place. Inside centre. She was really impressive last week, Robin Wilkins, when she came on for her first appearance for the Chiefs, showing really what she can do. So it'll be interesting to see how she goes this afternoon. Do you see her slotting in a fly half and McGovern moving off to inside centre?
I would suspect so. I think McGovern is actually inside centre by trade, so playing back in position for her.
Indeed. Oh, that's a brilliant bit of play. It's gone to Woman on the right. It's found a bit of space for the first time this afternoon. She flicks it inside.
Brilliant ball.
Can it get back to Woman? It can. Now, does she have the pace to go all the way? She's just hauled down 10 metres short. They retain the ball, though. It's Flo Robinson. That's Maisie Allen taking it up to within 5 metres. Can they get a quick ball once more? Flo Robinson off to Friday, who trucks it up. The Chiefs really starting to purr now. Ball just slowed down when they got yet another advantage. Off to McGovern, who takes it at first phase. She goes through one. More quick ball. They've got players lining up to the left. They've got to score, surely. The pass isn't given. Still space on the left. It's out to Robin Wilkins. Out to Buchanan. Now can she score? Of course she can. Oh no, they're given touch. I thought she had squeezed over, but the touch was just saying she had squeezed over to the left. I thought it was a bit of a high shot on her, to be honest, which is, I think, what you need to hold to this afternoon, the way she's playing. But we will come back for an original penalty for not rolling away for the Chiefs. They're really, really starting to tick at the moment, the Chiefs. It's the best passages of play we've seen all season. And it's great to see for this home Sandy Park crowd who unfortunately have seen a couple of losses so far this season here, but they're really being treated to a fantastic performance. And I think it's they carry on like this, it could be a result which the rest of the league will really sit up and take notice on. And what are the Chiefs doing here? They're 5 metres out right in front of the post, but it's interesting. I think that was Jacoby who didn't actually tap the ball.
Back we go, but it's pretty clear that Chiefs are going route one here.
She did just about tap it that time, so Jacoby taking it up there, a metre short here. All crowded, and they just go short. And who's that who's gone over? The Chiefs have scored. Just trying to see who's come up with the ball. I think, is that Pop? No, it's not Poppy Leach. I think it might be Poppy, actually. They're just asking in the coaching box here, actually, who did score. We'll hopefully find out for you very shortly, but it's such a... We'll find out now. It's Maisie Allen. Of course it's Maisie Allen.
Well-deserved points there for Maisie Allen, who has been on the ball all day.
She is so good from that part of the field. So unbelievably clinical from a few metres out.
She's not the biggest back row you'll ever see, but she's certainly very powerful. That kind of dynamism is great that close to the line.
Indeed, and she is in great try-scoring form so far this season. And the conversion is that missed by McGovern? So interesting. Just lost her rhythm a little bit with her kicks at goal.
And Exeter Chiefs lead 43 points to 8.
So Chiefs now leading Worcester Warriors by 43 points to 8. And what has been a really dominant performance so far, especially in the second half. And Brooke Bradley now, she's just coming back from injury. Now she's coming on for Flo Robinson, interestingly, for the final 20 minutes or so. So it'll be interesting to see how she goes as the Worcester kickoff is taken by the Chiefs. Brooke Bradley, who grew up playing a rugby for Exmouth, it's worth mentioning, so a local player. And Robin Wilkins has indeed slotted in at fly half, off to McGovern. That's a great ball that's Rachel Johnson, in fact, making a burst. Great burst, and they got quick ball, great clear out coming in. That's Maloney with a fantastic clear out as Poppy Leach settles things in midfield. Brooke Bradley out the back to McGovern. And that's out to Zachary, who gets that big left fend out once more. She loves that fend. They'll just try and settle things in midfield. Charlie Jacoby, the big prop forward for the Chiefs, just trucking the ball up. Really good ball carrier. That's out to Doidge at first receiver. Yet another first receiver for the Chiefs. Out to Buchanan. Now can she beat her player? She does. Can she beat the fullback? Oh, what a try from Katie Buchanan. She's been threatening it all afternoon. And she this time does manage to round not only the winger but the Worcester fullback. And the Chiefs are in for yet another try. And they are really starting to take it some brilliant play in the build-up as well. And it's the players just slotting in at first receiver I'm loving. Wilkins now slotting in there. Brilliant pass off to McGovern, who found a brilliant offload to Rachel Johnson, I should say, running through the middle. Then it was Marion Doidge, the fullback, slipping in at first receiver. She brought for a brilliant pass over the top to Katie Buchanan. And Katie Buchanan was able to show her pace and power to score just to the left of the post. And what a moment for her.
Katie Buchanan, absolutely incredible. And worth mentioning that was all started by that brilliant line break from Rachel Johnson. She is an absolute powerhouse. Indeed.
Brilliant run from Johnson, as you say. And McGovern finding the rhythm with a boot once more and in the extras. And that means 50 is up for the Chiefs. They lead the Worcester Warriors by 50 points to 8. And my word, I said a few moments ago, it might be a result at the end that the league will take notice on. I think even if the game was to finish now, the league would look at this and think, Exeter Chiefs, they're a team to watch again once more this season. As Worcester once again kick off, Panache Mzambi is on. So
I think we've also got Abby Fleming on there for Nick Friday.
Indeed, Abby Fleming, who played, I think, the full 80 last weekend at Darlington. Welsh international, of course, but Exeter girl, I have to say. In fact, I know her mum and brother, believe it or not, but just showing my local connections.
Very well connected with an Exeter Hay.
Indeed. And Chiefs still, Worcester having a bit of possession now inside their own half, so a chance for Chiefs to show what they can do in defence, but in fact it won't be for long because Worcester have dropped the ball, so the Chiefs will again show what they can do once more going forward in attack. So Silvia Turani has gone off for Panache Mzambi, the Italian international. I think she's done really well in her first start, really showing what she could do.
She's done very well slotting into the system there, and I'm sure we'll see much more of her this season.
Absolutely, and I heard an interesting choice for her, and the initiation song in the front of the team coach coming back from Darlington last weekend, trying out an Italian number, which seemed to go down well.
She'll be rivaling Linda van der Velden's Dutch Toot Toot song, I'm sure.
Yes, she apparently pulled that one out as well, which was interesting.
Oh, we've got space in the wing here.
But away from the singing, Marion Deutsch has taken it up in midfield as the Chiefs get around the corner. Maisie Allen just throwing the dummy and just getting through a tackle, which she just seems to do every time. Poppy Leach out the back to Wilkins. And that's out to Jacoby, who just trucks the ball up in the middle. Brooke Bradley off to McGovern, slotting him at first receiver, Mzambi. Now off to Deutsch on the right. Oh, sorry, it's just trying to see who that is on the right-hand side. I think that might be Daniel Priest, I think, who's made an appearance. Brooke Bradley off to Wilkins. And McGovern through one, gets the offload away to Maisie Allen. Now can she breaks one. Eventually brought down by the second defender, so it's quick ball here. Wilkins, held back to Mozambi running a tight line. Can she get the offload away? She does to Ebony Jeffries, who just checks, goes through the middle. Players lining up to the right here. Wilkins once more. Out the back to Poppy Leach, the captain. That's over to Woodman on the right. Now can she finish? Just brought down a couple of metres short. Just looking at a quick ball once more. Bradley out to Mozambi. Now can she force her way over? She can indeed, and she has scored. The Chiefs Scottish international, Panache Mozambi, has found her way over the line, and is yet another try for the Exeter Chiefs, and they are running right here at Sandy Park.
And she's only been on the field about 2 minutes as Panache Mozambi, so quick work from the prop.
Indeed, and I think it's one of those games it's one of those games really where you want to come on because they look to be enjoying it. They're just seeming to get quick ball at will here, and just players constantly lining up. It's one of those where you dream of being a halfback because they just seem to have options whichever way they go.
Absolutely, and the home crowd at Sandy Park are absolutely loving the action.
Indeed they are, and plenty of celebrations going on around us here at Sandy Park. Those who have braved the cold here and avoided the Christmas shopping for yet another weekend, which I've done. As McGovern lines up the conversion on her, it'll be her weaker side this time, but it does fade across the front of the post. So the score staying Exeter Chiefs 55, Worcester Warriors 8. But I don't think they'll mind that so far. I'm very interested. Oh, we've got water break here, which is why the players are being held back here. The Worcester Warriors just staying at the posts. Because of course we have the official water breaks now, rather than players coming on. Rather than the support staff coming on at any time they choose. A lot stricter rules. And a word has to go to the fantastic support staff down on the touchline for the Chiefs, always so attentive and brilliant. To the fantastic physios and therapists and the strength conditioning coach as well. And what always amazes me, they're always in their shorts. I don't know how they do it really, but braver than I am. But
the stress must be keeping them warm, I think.
It's all that running around. I think it's the sitting which kills you. It's Worcester just coming up now to line up yet another restart. As that ball lands very easily for the Chiefs, and just breaking through half a tackle there, just having plenty of space to run into, just tiring a little bit the Worcester defence. That's a good run by Abby Fleming. Good clear out as well, as the Worcester player was really over the top there. Interesting ball out the top to Buchanan. Now can she break? Yeah, another tackle. Brought down well this time by the Worcester fullback actually, McNally, who's gone into the right wing. Clearly favour as a good tackler, so almost man marking Buchanan, which is a real sign of respect for her performance. Ball just taken up in the middle by Ebony Jeffries. Bradley back to McGovern. Wilkins now coming in at second receiver. Over the top here to, I think that's Charlie Woodman over the right-hand side. It's very hard to tell. We're a long way away from that right-hand side. Bradley once more, and that ball's just dropped by Poppy Leach. So Worcester can counter-attack here. They pick the ball up. And I think that's the first drop of the ball we've seen for some time. The handling has been near faultless from the Chiefs.
Interesting to see what Worcester do with this unexpected possession.
Indeed, I think they're going to drop back in the pocket and try and kick it long. In fact, they do. And in fact, sorry, it is Danielle Preece who's come on, I think, to that centre position. But Charlie Woodman is still very much on. And that ball was taken up there by Merrin Deutsch. And the ball just turned over by Worcester. So, in fact, it's turned over, then Maisie Allen trying to pick it up, but just knocking the ball on. So we'll have our first scrum in a while. It'll be a Worcester ball inside the Chiefs half, which we haven't been in a while. So can Worcester really salvage something from their afternoon's work here at Sandy Park? They would have been so pleased with their first result of the season, beating Harlequins, obviously a side usually hanging around at the top of the table, usually challenging in finals and the like, but and had a disappointing loss to Sale Sharks at home last weekend. So yeah, maybe just running out a little bit of form. As we have a bit of a stoppage here. We have a little bit of oggy going on as the crowd try and warm themselves up. I think more for themselves, really, for the players. Get the vocal cords going. So we just had a little stoppage. One of the Worcester players seems to have gone down. Probably not a bad moment for them just to just take stock, just reset. Because they have shown some bright sparks. Obviously got one try this afternoon, and there's phases during that first half where they were camped inside the Exeter 22. So certainly not a side you can underestimate, but I think they've just been outclassed a bit in the second half, it's fair to say.
I think Chiefs have stepped it up this second half in both attack and defence, and Worcester are just struggling to keep up at the moment. But they'll be disappointed if they don't get another try on the board for sure.
Indeed. And Worcester with the put in the scrum, and that looks like it's taken against the head. I think Maloney has got in there. And Bradley now takes it off the base. Oh, just a bit of a loose pass. You can see what she was trying to do. She was trying to find Woman on the right because she thought she saw a bit of space for the speedster, but unfortunately pass just going out of play, so Worcester will have the line out. And in fact, sorry, I have to, it is Danielle Priest who has come on now. I thought she had come on previously. That was my error. So she's now replacing Kate Zachary, Captain America as everyone refers to her as. And she's put in a brilliant afternoon shift, it has to be said. The American international, I don't think has trained a lot with the Chiefs since being back, but
she is very recently back from her World Cup. So
I think, did she arrive back last weekend? I think I saw.
I think last weekend it was. She's obviously seamlessly reintegrated.
Indeed. So there's a loose pass from Worcester, and Danielle Priest just trying to get on over the top of that ball. Another young player, another local young player from Exmouth, who a lot of my family are involved in, so I keep having to mention them. Who actually putting in a women's team themselves, so I have to give that a mention. They're really promoting women's and girls rugby. As Worcester have the ball in their hands inside the Chiefs' half, which is not something we said a lot so far during the second half. They're just trying to go through a few phases. A nice little show and go from the substitute hooker Skeldon. Ball off the base here. And that's a lovely little pass. They burst through the middle. Great timing on that pass. So again, showing what they can do in attack, but good tackle at fullback by Doidge, who hasn't had a lot to do defensively in this second half, but really putting her body on the line there. And they've just managed to reset their defensive line, the Chiefs. And really pressing now, but great bit of attacking play from Worcester. Lovely ball that was, and in fact they've got the penalty here.
They've certainly got a bit of their spark back in the last few phases, and with the penalty it'll be good to see what they can do with it.
Indeed, so I think we can guarantee they won't go for posts. So it'll be interesting to see whether they go for the corner. They just slowed it down, so I'd imagine that's what they might do. In fact, they're just having a little bit of a debate amongst themselves. And it will be their inside centre, Kershaw, I think, who will try and find touch, which she safely does, just inside. So it takes play up to just inside the Chiefs 22. And they will love to just have a little bit of sustained pressure in this part of the field, something they haven't done so far this half, and just check the Chiefs' progress. As they were previously just starting to run riot. Offloads were just sticking. Passes were being timed perfectly. It's just sometimes you're in that mood, as you'll know, Charlie. It's just sometimes your day, but it seems not to be Worcester Warriors' day as they lose that line out, and they can break out here through Wilkins out to Danielle Priest. Now, has she got the pace to go all the way? Tries to get that right fend out, but good tackle coming in from the right winger, Wills for Worcester. Well, that's a fizzed pass from Leach going out to, I think that's Ebony Jeffries, who just retains the ball well.
Poppy Leach has really developed her ability as a playmaker here this season.
She
makes
really
her very
does.
Dangerous.
Indeed, she loves distributing, doesn't she? And just a bit of pressure coming in at the ruck there, so McGovern forced to use the boot, and Woodman chases it, but easily done there. And that's a great run coming in for the left winger here for Worcester. Has a great ball inside, another great ball inside, and they're going to score here, are the Warriors. What a fantastic try, and you have to say they deserve that. A bit of a loose kick from McGovern, and they've been punished. Great effort from the visitors there. And we're just trying to see who that is who scored. I didn't quite catch who it was, but a great bit of interplay. I think it was Vicky Laughlin, the skipper, on the left-hand side. And it's Karis Cox who's gone over in the 75th minute for the visitors. And that was a nice bit of interplay on that left-hand side. Really nice try. And you have to say, they deserve that for the sustained pressure they've had over the last 5 minutes. But really, it was just a loose kick, and Woodman maybe just jumping out the line, maybe a bit loosely chasing, and the Worcester skipper Laughlin was just easily able to round her, and then just a couple of passes, bang bang, and they were over.
Yeah, I think all credit to Worcester, but I do think that Steve Salvin will have some words to say about that defence when we get to Monday morning.
I bet he will, indeed. And the conversion is missed now by the Warriors. So score staying at Exeter Chiefs 55, Worcester Warriors 13, and they'll certainly want to finish with a bang. Will the Chiefs really? They want to certainly make sure they had the last try to score this afternoon to highlight their dominance. That's a great kick by Wilkins, really high and hanging, and that can be challenged. In fact, it is dropped by Worcester, and I think that was picked up. Is that Woodman on the right-hand side?
Charlie Woodman with the pick up there.
It gets the offload away, so Chiefs coming back again inside the Worcester 22 as Maloney takes the ball through the middle, beats one. Can she get to the line? She can. She will score. What a run from Clee Maloney, and the Irish hooker really showing what she can do there as she goes over for the Chiefs.
Wonderful little show and go from Clee Maloney. She is so dangerous in that run.
Well, it didn't take long, just literally just over a minute after conceding. The Chiefs are back over, and we have to say a bit of soft defending perhaps from the Worcester Warriors, but let's give the credit to Clee Maloney. Fantastic run. She shrugged off one, shrugged off two, and then had the presence of mind as she was looking for the offload to stretch over under the post. And she's had to be patient, really, it's fair to say, sitting on the bench for these first three Allianz Premier 15 games behind Clara Nielsen, but really showing what her international class is worth.
We have incredible depth at Chiefs with the hookers, not only Clara Nielsen, but we have Emily Titosi coming back from international duty with Canada, and of course the wonderful Clee Maloney. It's certainly going to be a selection battle for them this season. Nice problems to have, I think.
Oh, indeed. And the conversion is added by McGovern. And it's we have to mention it actually with a few minutes left. The strength and depth for the Chiefs this season is brilliant, because obviously with the World Cup being on, it saw the young talent that's coming through the Chiefs at the moment. A lot of young local talent as well. It really shows that the future is bright for this side.
I think it is the combination of that young talent and the perhaps more seasoned, experienced internationals that really gives this Chiefs side the edge.
Indeed, it certainly does. And Worcester just kicking off, and Chiefs are easily able to keep that ball. Good counter-right coming in from the Warriors, but just able to retain the ball. But Bradley off to now to Wilkins. And it was a nice little offload from Zambi, but just finding a Worcester shirt, unfortunately, who was retreating, but liked what she was trying to do there. The ball out the back here for Worcester. The kick coming in now. That's a good flattening tackle by Abby Fleming. That's a nice touch though from Worcester, so it will be an extra line out just inside their own 22. It's not a 50-22, so inside the Chiefs half.
We haven't seen too many 50-22s yet this season.
No, I think there was one last week up in Darlington, which I remember actually, because I was sitting next to, close to Susie Appleby, the head coach, and she wasn't happy with that option, and then turned out to be a good one.
Hadn't quite seen where it was kicked from, maybe.
Yes, certainly had to eat her words maybe a little bit. That was a bit of an early jump there in the line-out, so they lose the ball, but the ball dropped at the back of the line-out with Worcester. It was a real attacking opportunity. I think she saw the line in front of her, did the Worcester number 17, Steph Evans, and just maybe got a bit overexcited and lost sight of the ball. So the Chiefs get away with that one, but they're weren't quite on the same wavelength for that throw. Just seemed to be the lift was way before the throw.
I think that just a little bit of timing off with the line out today, not quite our usual selves on that. Susie Appleby shouting down instructions.
Indeed, always coming down from the coaching box. As Brooke Bradley just puts the ball into the scrum. Rachel Johnson will fancy a run here, and have to say the open side for Worcester has been really good at tracking those runs from the number 8s and just putting that early tackle really to stop the number 8, whether it be Van der Velden or Johnson, getting up any head of steam. But Bradley out to Wilkins, who will look to clear. A sensible player, not able to find loads of yardage, but steady clearance, which will mean a Worcester line out between the halfway line and the 10-metre line inside the Chiefs' half. Sorry, between the 10-metre line and 22, I should say. Is their substitute hooker who's been on for most of the game after an unfortunate injury for the starting hooker February, Lana Skeldon, will look to throw in. Now, can the Chiefs compete? They do, but well claimed there. Ball out the back and always just dropped. So can the Chiefs counter-attack here? Danielle Priest looking to have a run, just half breaks one tackle. But Bradley just, the ball was out, so Worcester will be able to claim that. So
they have been dangerous around that breakdown of Worcester.
Yeah, it's an area they seem to have targeted, because I think they know when the Chiefs get into their rhythm, get into their phases, they can be dangerous. And in fact, just winning a penalty here, Worcester, for not rolling away. So I think a lot of sides have decided to really try and attack the Chiefs at source, and that's certainly something they've tried to do, but I have to say not to much effect today. Looking at the scoreline, those of you just joining us, the Chiefs leading the Worcester Warriors by 62 points to 13 as we are into added time here. Just 40.5 minutes gone as Worcester put the ball into the Chiefs 22 as they'll look to have the final say here at Sandy Park as they set up a line out. I wouldn't imagine there'll be loads of added minutes on, maybe about 3. I keep thinking about the Football World Cup with added minutes at the moment, so they seem to play about half an hour, but I don't think we're going to have that this afternoon. There's not been too many stoppages. That's a good line out once more from the Warriors. They set up a driving maul of their own. Now, can they give the Chiefs a bit of a taste of their own medicine? Only one driving maul try this afternoon from the Chiefs, just before half time. And they looked at this well set up. They now do break out from the back. Nice ball out the back, and Laughlin throws the dummy and goes. Now, just brought down by Buchanan about 6 metres out. Ball goes out onto the right wing. Now, can they get in? It looks like they will. What a try for the Worcester Warriors. It's Deborah Wills who gets over for the away side. That was really nicely worked, you have to say, from the Warriors.
Brilliant work from Deborah Wills. No surprise there, former England Sevens player. She is going to finish it if she gets the ball in space.
Indeed, yeah. I think she was Team GB in the Tokyo Olympics as well, so she's got pedigree, and as soon as the ball was in her hands, she just knew she was going to finish this. Ran out of numbers, really, the Chiefs. And, Worcester finishing off with a flourish, and I think the way the players are gathering there, I think that might have been the final act of the game, obviously just waiting for the conversion. But so it will be the Worcester Warriors will have the final say. It won't really mean much because they won't win any bonus point, only their third try of the afternoon, and they won't come within 7. So they will go from Devon empty-handed, and it will be the Chiefs who will come away with all 5 points. But let's see if they can finish off with a conversion wide on this right-hand touchline. Just taking a time on it. She eyes it up as the Chiefs players are in a huddle behind their own posts, and that is not a bad kick, but it just falls short, and that is indeed the full-time whistle, and the Exeter Chiefs have come out victorious here at Sandy Park with a huge win by 62 points to 18. I think it's fair to say it will take too long to go through all the try scorers, but my word, it's been a dominant performance, and Exeter Chiefs have really found their groove, it's fair to say. Charlie, just some of your thoughts really on that performance.
I think the second half and the first half completely different. Second half, Chiefs really came into the rain. Brilliant to see the ball getting out wide, and it's got to be special mention to Katie Buchanan. She has been on exceptional form today. Indeed,
no, she was brilliant on that left-hand side. It'll be interesting to see who the 3 players nominated for Player of the Match are. They will be on the social media, hopefully at some point this evening, letting you know who you can vote for, who won Player of the Match. But quite frankly, it'd be tough to pick 3 of them because they were fantastic performances all across the pitch. Maisie Allen was superb again in the forwards up front. Nicola Friday, I thought, was fantastic.
Brilliant defend from her today.
Indeed, she's got over the whitewash. Cara Nielsen, Clea Maloney as well, and the backs. The Team America in the centres. Have to give credit to how good they were. Gabby Cantona and Kate Zachary returning as well. So all-round great team performance from the Chiefs. Even the players coming off the bench as well really added something. Well, thank you very much for joining us here on the YouTube stream. But it's finished here at Sandy Park. Exeter Chiefs 62, the Worcester Warriors 18.